some point the curtain falls and every secret hits the walls. Every promise, every lie, every reason people hide, the things buried beneath the years, the whispered doubts, the silent fears, will rise beneath the morning sun, and nowhere left for truth to run. And when the dust begins to clear, we can finally see from here, what kind of people will we be when every hidden thing is seen, when the dust has settled from the storm and we're standing in the truth at dawn? Will we build bridges from the pain or tear each other down again? What kind of world will rise someday? Will truth and grace show us the way? Truth and grace show us the way. Some will call for vengeance now, some will swear they'll never bow, some will cling to yesterday, some will simply walk away. But every child yet to arrive will inherit what survives. The things we choose, the roads we pave, long after we're beneath the grave. What kind of people will we be when every hidden thing is seen, when the dust is settled from the storm and we're standing in the truth at dawn? Will we build bridges from the pain or tear each other down again? What kind of world will rise someday? Will truth and grace show us the way? Truth and grace show us the way. 'Cause maybe the battle was never out there, maybe it started inside. Not in the headlines, not in the power, but deep in the human heart. Maybe the darkness we fear in the world is darkness we're called to confront. And maybe redemption begins the moment we choose what we're gonna become. What kind of people will we be? The answer rests in you and me, not with anger, not with pride, but truth and grace standing side by side. What kind of world will we leave behind for those who come another time? When all the hidden things are gone, may truth and grace lead us on. And when the dust is finally cleared, beyond the doubt, beyond the fear, the future belongs to those who stayed with truth and grace along the way. Truth and grace along the way. Yeah. Will we rise above the madness? Will we refuse to play their game? Will we rebuild what they divided and let truth restore the flame? Because when the river is finally over, the future won't belong to the powerful. It will belong to the people who chose what came next. And build a world worth leaving to the rest. The dogs were raising hell again. The shadows in the dark, 26 old guardians sounding every farm alarm. The fire danced beside the camp, throwing sparks into the night, while the moon hung over Hawks Farm like a lantern in the sky. Had a little cherry lemonade, courtesy of a faithful friend, mixed with brine berry coffee and let the day come to an end. The smoke rolled slow through cedar trees, the worries drifted too, and for a little while the world forgot what it was trying to do. And this is my happy place, just a fire and open space, dogs barking somewhere in the dark, mountains watching from afar, a bowl of prayer, a quiet night, stars above and God's own light. The world can run its endless race, but this is my happy place. Every scar I've ever carried, every burden, every loss, seems a little lighter sitting beside those embers and that cross. The shepherds keep their vigil like they've done 1,000 nights, and somehow all that barking just reminds me life's alright. Yeah, this is my happy place, just a fire and open space, dogs barking somewhere in the dark, mountains watching from afar, a bowl of prayer, a quiet night, stars above and God's own light. The world can run its endless race, but this is my happy place. I ain't found peace and money, never found it on TV, never found it in the noise of what everybody thinks should be. Found it in a camper chair underneath the moonlit sky, with faithful dogs around me and the Lord walking by. Yeah, this is my happy place, where time slows down and grace falls soft as mountain moonlight across this weathered face. Just an old man and a shepherd, thankful for another day. And if heaven feels like anything, I think it feels this way. If heaven feels like anything, I think it feels this way. In the shadows of the night, when the world turns dark, I'm the one who lights the way, like a beacon that won't spark. Through the storms of life, I hold you tight, believing in you until the very end of sight. In every tear, in every laugh, I'm there to catch you. Through the pain, through the joy, I'm right by your side without a doubt. I see you more than just a shadow in the light. Open your heart's door and let love start to ignite. I see you standing tall, even when you fall, and I see you rising up, stronger than before, never small. When the world tells you to give up and you feel lost, I'm the voice that whispers, keep pushing, don't be crossed. In the quiet moments when your spirit feels so low, I'm the one who lifts you up like a gentle healing glow. And the night feels endless and you can't see the dawn, I'll be your whisper, guiding you along. With every heartbeat I'll remind you of your strength. Together we'll rise up, going any length. So take my hand, let the worries fade away. In this dance of life, we'll find our way through every shadow. Love will light the path. Side by side we'll conquer all that life has. I see you, more than just a reflection in the mirror. Open your heart's door and let love start to grow. I see you standing strong, even when you fall, and I see you rising up, stronger than before, never small. I see you, more than just a dream in the night. Open your heart's door and let love start to ignite. I see you standing tall, even when you fall, and I see you rising up, stronger than before, never small. I'm tired of the lies they spin. They're feeding us poison, where do I begin? Every headline feels like a sin. Oh, it's a game we're stuck in, can't win. Barack signed the papers, gave them the key. NDAA took our truth, can't you see? Smith mind shadow, it's haunting me. Propaganda flows like a dark raging sea. They twist the words, make us blind. Realities are lost in their cruel grind. Who's telling the truth? Man, it's hard to find. In this media maze, we're all confined. We're rising up, can't take no more. Truth on our lips, it's time to roar. No more shadows, we'll break free. With every heartbeat, we'll make them see. Together we'll stand united and bold. No more lies, let the story be told. In this fight for truth, we'll find our way. We'll light the dark, bring a brand new day. I'm screaming loud, but no one hears. Drowning in cycles of our own fears. The truth goes, shedding bitter tears. Oh, the anger rises, it's been years. So I'll sing my blues, let the world know. Fight for the truth, let the fire grow. We're breaking the chains, it's time to show. We won't be silenced, we'll steal the show. In the silence, hear the cries, voices echo, breaking tide. Every tear, a story untold. In the ashes, we rise bold. No more whispers, we'll shout loud. Together together strong, we're a fierce crowd. With every step, we take the stand, fighting for truth. Hand in hand, let the walls shake, let the truth ring. We'll write the lyrics, let freedom sing. From the shadows, we'll break away. In this moment, we'll seize the day. We're rising up, can't take no more. Truth on our lips, it's time to roar. No more shadows, we'll break free. With every heartbeat, we'll make them see. Together we'll stand, united and bold. No more lies, let the story be told. In this fight for truth, we'll find our way. We'll light the dark, bring a brand new day.
The Bible says in Isaiah 26:3 that the Lord will keep in perfect peace all who trust in him, all whose thoughts are fixed on him. See, God keeps in perfect peace the one whose mind is stayed on him. That's the key, your mind. Not your situation, not your bank account, not your diagnosis, not your relationships, but your mind. You keep trying to fix everything in your environment, but God is saying the only thing you need to fix is your focus on me. And maybe that's why you're so tired. Maybe that's why you're anxious. Maybe that's why you can't sleep at night, because your thoughts keep running ahead of God. But faith is trying to pull them back to him. The Bible says to trust the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Because the moment you trust what you see more than you trust who God is, fear takes over. And trust is not pretending. Trust is choosing. You choose what voice gets authority. You choose what thought gets access. God is not asking you to live worried. He is calling you to live anchored. You keep your mind on him and you stay there, and the peace of God will meet you there. If you need help anchoring your peace, I've got a great team of Christian coaches who want to help you steward peace in your life and your relationships. Tap the link in my bio and sign up today.
Yeah. You know, you could almost end a podcast with that, because that is what it boils down to. Lean not on our own understanding, but lean on him. Yeah. Just saying. Sometimes we look for too much information. Just saying. Just saying. Let's go ahead.
I'm gonna have a testimony of how you brought me through the night. But even in the middle, I'm singing, my God, this is what a miracle feels like.
You know, think about it. Rock and roll singers, are they smiling when they're singing? No, they are not. Country singers, are they smiling? Well, they might smile in between verses or after a chorus. Now, old harmony, like 4-part harmony, the quartets and stuff like that, they were always smiling because they were having fun with what they were doing. And they weren't using anything extra in order to get them there. Right? But it's like when you think about the opening line of what she's, what she's singing along with, okay, was, I'm gonna have a testimony. I'm gonna have a testimony. And that's the way it'll be for a lot of us. It really is. It's going to be that way for a lot of us. And those of you that shared the podcast there on X, thank you very much for doing that. I don't have a huge following or anything. I'm not like one of those super brain guys that sees everything, but I see everything. You know what I'm saying? But I don't talk about everything, because if I did, I'd honestly, um, I'd go fucking crazy. Excuse my French, but I would. And it wouldn't just be a little bit of crazy. When I say that, it's it's a belief of knowing that it's it's a transformation that I honestly don't like going through, because there's you get mad about something, right? But it becomes this cycle, okay, where you get mad about it, and then you get mad at yourself for being mad about it, because you know better than that, okay? And then all of a sudden you're mad at it again, and it's a repetitive cycle, and you could have buggered something up a month ago, okay, and you're still thinking about it today, okay. You know, and it's still annoying you, okay. So we need to get rid of the nuance, the nuisance, the irritability that pushes you to the anger point, you know. Um, and yeah, just saying. So um, it's full. It's funny. You know, guys, remember we were covering some of the protests going on, and Jolly Ginger was there in Washington D.C. and he said it on camera too. That's what's funny. He said it on camera that he was Antifa. He admitted that his entire group was Antifa. Okay. The difference is they do it without the masks. Okay. For clicks, likes, and the money that they get for it. But people are beginning to see really where a lot of this is going, and but we're gonna come back to that video there of Jolly Ginger in a minute. But wanted to get down here where he had this to say, okay, and I was like, oh, Jolly Ginger got his Antifa panties in a bunch. Yeah. Remember this guy?
I'm about to say the thing that needs to be said, that I've been avoiding saying for a long time, and that nobody else is saying on the internet. Because if you're saying on the internet, it could end poorly for you. But I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway. And here's the thing. What's happening right now in this country is already past the line. We've already passed what should have been the line for revolution. What's happening right now with ICE and with everything else is our Boston Tea Party, right? Like our Boston Tea Party moment, like taxation without representation. Well, we are at the point where we don't have rights.
Wait a second here. So ICE doing their job, following the laws set by Congress and the Senate. I mean, I'm sure that they would love to be doing something else other than hunting down people who are in this country illegal. I'm just saying, they're doing their fucking job, and I'm 100% behind them.
sacrifice all of our rights so that corporations can be rich. We sacrifice all of our rights so that billionaires can exist. And I don't give a fuck how you feel about that. That's the fact. I don't care, by the way. I'm not speaking to just blue voters. I'm talking to everybody. If you're a conservative or whatever, listen to me. I'm talking to you too. This is a class war that we're losing, and we have failed to acknowledge it because we're so divided upon these fucking blue-red lines that we've lost our fucking way. Listen, go look at what's happening in Delaney right now. Go look at what's happening. The police are literally arresting everybody just for protesting. The First Amendment, there's a reason it's number one. The First Amendment is dead. It died. It died, motherfucker. It died this year. With everything that happened in Chicago and DC and Minneapolis and LA and now in New Jersey and every place in between, the First Amendment's dead. If you think our First Amendment rights still exist, you're a fucking lunatic. I'm posting this. When I get done recording this, I'm going to post it on the internet. And there's a chance that I could face DOJ federal charges and indictments for me saying this out loud. And that thing is that we need a revolution. We need people to take to the streets and say, fuck it all. That's it. We're done, dude. If we don't have our 1776 moment right now, we're about to pass the point of no return. And people are going to say, oh, Johnny, you shouldn't do that. There's still hope. We can still win the midterms and take back the House, and we can still fucking hold them all accountable. You're a delusional motherfucker if you believe that. I don't give a fuck. Cancel me. Cancel me. The governor of New Jersey is a Democrat governor that everybody was happy that she won the seat. Yay, Mikey Sherrill won the governorship. And she's the one that's sticking the state thugs on you right now. The governor of my state, Virginia, where I live, everybody was happy Spanberger won. I mean, even I voted for her. I was happy Spanberger won because fuck having a Republican governor. She vetoed the rights for unions to fucking have collective bargaining. She vetoed regulations against ICE. She had a massive veto against a bunch of things that our Democrat majority House of Delegates gave to her, because at the end of the fucking day, the Democrats are nothing more than moderate conservatives. We don't have a left-wing party. We don't have it, motherfuckers. And if you think the fucking Democrats winning the majority in November is going to save us from this shit, then we're just going to be back here in a couple years any goddamn way. The status quo is what got us here, and the Democrats uphold the status quo. If you're a staffer on Capitol Hill and you're watching this video and you never want to let me talk to your fucking congressperson again, I don't give a fuck. I'm done, dude. I'm done. I'm punching my fucking card. I'm punching my fucking card. Not enough people are fucking angry. Not enough people are in the fucking streets. A revolution is not happening yet. It needs to. It's still not too late, but god damn it, it's almost too late. And if motherfuckers don't get involved, right, go look at what's happening in Delaney Hall right now. Go look at what's happening in Delaney Hall tonight. Go look. Go look. Tell me about your constitutional rights. Tell me how much they really exist. They don't. We don't have rights anymore. If you're not rich and wealthy, if you're not Elon Musk, if you're not Donald Trump, if you're not part of the fucking 1% billionaire class, motherfucker, any perceived power you have is nothing more than that, a perception. Cancel me. I don't give a fuck. Run this across the internet to everybody. I'm a delusional fucking, I've gone too far and I've said too much and I'm being whatever the fuck you want to. I don't give a fuck. What I'm saying is the truth. Whether you see it now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I don't give a fuck when you see it. But I said the truth. Fucking chew on it.
Well, there's a lot of half-truths there, because I have been watching what's been going on at Delaney Hall. And the fact that they attempted to fucking start fires out there again. And, and what's crazy is it's not ICE that is removing them. Okay. It is, in fact, the New Jersey State Police. Okay. Because, it's and I share a lot of this as it's going on, it's as soon as like either Cam Higbee or one of those guys that actually puts context to their videos, or covers the entirety of an altercation, then I'll share that with you guys, for the most part, because it's the entirety of it, the thing is, you want to talk about riots. Well, let's go ahead. Let's talk about riots for a minute. Okay. This was a Muslim riot in Paris just over the last few days. The Eiffel Tower is on fire. Okay? Not kidding. They went through and trashed all the cars. These are all people just going everywhere and nothing, destroying everything in their path. Lighting cars on fire, breaking into businesses. You know, and that's not all of it. There's a whole lot in here, but where is the? There's one of the. I got one of the ones for. Here we go, right here. So,
and you're certainly not keeping New Jersey safe. Today and going forward, I urge those protesting outside of Delaney Hall to bring the temperature down so we can focus on the detainees and their families. So comply with the lawful orders from local and state law enforcement and let advocates, faith leaders, and members of this community continue their work. Here in America, you have a right to protest and a duty to do so peacefully. The work doesn't stop here. I'm going to keep working with our federal delegation to demand answers. I'm going to keep using every tool at my disposal to get full access to Delaney Hall. And I'm going to keep working for better conditions inside of this facility until it's closed for good. So today I'm calling on the Department of Homeland Security to do the following: restore visitation for families, provide appropriate care and medical for all detainees, especially the most vulnerable. Give detainees a meaningful chance to review their cases. Stop pressuring them into signing deportation documents. Here in the United States of America, we can and we must do better. As governor, I swore an oath to the Constitution of New Jersey to promote peace, prosperity, and the lawful rights of everyone in our state. I'm going to uphold that oath, and now I'll turn it over to the attorney and your.
That oath is to Americans, and that is do your job. Do your job. You know, do your job. But the state police went in. State police went in. But, Jolly Ginger's, talking about he's all done. But
you don't have anything intelligent to say. You just start talking. I can tell by the words you're using. I can tell.
You're literally flying a Blue Lives Matter flag.
I will fly until I die.
And I hope that comes soon. Sooner rather than later, you motherfucker. As soon as you old bigots die, shit might get a little bit better around here. You fucking cocksucker.
No, you don't have anything intelligent.
Yeah. So this is the same guy who just posted, hours ago. This is 5 hours ago, and his that post I shared with you, that was 2 days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. Just saying, for somebody who's done, you're out there, let's see, hang on a second here. We lost Facebook for some reason. It says we did. Let's see, is it back now? Let's see here. What's going on with that? Give me a second, guys. I'm just trying to get Facebook working again. Okay. All right. I think we got it back up over there. I don't know what's going on over there. Probably that video. Let's see. Had to restart. Let's see. Yeah. So. Yeah. So okay. All right. All right. Yeah. And yeah. Thanks, Jimmy. Okay. All right. And then we got this one. This is a registered nurse employed with the University of Michigan Health. Says President Trump needs to die and that she'll do it herself. Yeah.
He needs to fucking die. I've never felt like that about anyone. Given my profession, it's counterintuitive. But you know what? Fuck that guy. He fucking needs to die. I have never been a violent person, but I'm about to drive up there with my goddamn neck knife and get that motherfucker a smiley face across his goddamn neck. Fuck him. I hate that bitch. He needs to fucking die. I've never felt like that about...
Yeah. Yeah. So University of Michigan Health. Yeah. It's the kind of people that you have work there. Really? Got questions. All right. And then liberal judge has just unilaterally nullified a law requiring proof of citizenship to vote in New Hampshire. What?
You have some breaking election news this noon. A federal judge has overturned New Hampshire's proof of citizenship voter registration law. That ruling came down this morning. The judge saying the law risks disenfranchising too many voters who are qualified to cast ballots. Secretary of State David Scanlon sat down with WMUR political director Adam Sexton this morning for close-up. The secretary says while he disagrees with the order and this case is likely to continue on appeal, for now, the state will revert to its 2024 election laws.
What does this mean about what happens in September and November?
Well, what this means in the short term is that we will be conducting the registration process at state elections the way we have done in the past, which means a voter can come into the polling place and use an affidavit to prove certain qualifications.
Secretary Scanlon says while it may not be New Hampshire's case that ultimately gets there, he does expect this proof of citizenship registration issue to reach the U.S. Supreme Court.
Yeah, interesting, huh? This is happening now. All right. At the same time, this is happening.
Former candidate for El Paso City Representative in District 5 was arrested on child sex charges. Sean Austin Orr was arrested Thursday by El Paso police after an investigation linked child sexual abuse materials to him. The investigation was a joint operation with El Paso police and Homeland Security. He has a total of 6 charges and has a bond totaling over $1 million. Former candidate.
Yeah. And it says that, it's another Democrat candidate for office is arrested for raping a child. El Paso, Texas. The entire Democrat Party platform is centered around pedophilia, protecting criminal illegal aliens, and abolishing ICE and Border Patrol. Yeah, Dapper Detective put that one out. Yeah, and then there's this. This is from Kentucky Girl. Wait for it.
Being gay in America is so hard. I mean, we are able to get the same jobs as straight people. We're able to get housing like straight people. I'm able to get married to my same-sex partner just like straight people. I don't have to walk down the street wondering if I'm going to get thrown off of a rooftop because the government doesn't agree with me. I don't have to worry that I'm going to get publicly hung and strung up in the streets because My country's overrun by a religion that doesn't agree with me. I don't have to worry about all of these things. And so, you know what? Actually, being gay in America, not that hard, guys. Guess what? This is actually probably one of the best countries for you to go live your life. So, stop throwing a fit because you have it pretty easy compared to the rest of the world. And on top of that, guys, people don't actually care what you do at home in your bedroom. So just keep all of your stuff off the streets and away from children. And you know what? Society actually doesn't care that much. Blessed to be an American. Blessed to be born in this country. Praise God that we're here.
She had a good message there. You know what I'm saying? It was actually kind of funny. That's why I wanted to share it with you guys because we see conservative Ant. He's very open about who he is. But he stands up. For real conservative values. Okay. Just for real, and there's quite a few others that I have found that are great at making content. Okay. Putting information together, showing receipts, and having a good time doing it. And they're they're intelligent. So I share them because their viewpoints kind of matter too. It's even though biblically we look at it and we say, but you know what? I know that they believe in the same God that we do, and I know that most of them, believe in the same Jesus too. So, we just got to kind of go with the flow. What's this? Ooh. 1 second here, guys. Perfect. Okay. All right. And then John Thune, he's not doing so well.
Of chaos on Capitol Hill as Senate Republicans are now set to go home until June. That's significant because that now puts them on course to miss a June 1st deadline that was set by President Trump to pass a reconciliation funding package to give money to both ICE and CBP. For more on that, we're going to send it out to Fox News Chief Congressional Correspondent Chad Pergram on Capitol Hill. Chad, sounds like things just completely fell apart today. Fill us in. What happened?
Bill, good afternoon. Here's what happened. Todd Blanche, the acting attorney general, was summoned to Capitol Hill to meet with Senate Republicans. They had a lot of concerns about this compensation fund, and they were going to have to go through what's called a vote-a-rama, a lengthy vote series where Democrats were going to put Republican senators on the record on every single vote here, voting on something related to that compensation fund. And there were some Republicans who had a lot of reservations about this too. I am told that they have to go back to the drawing board and completely start this bill again. I'm told that Tom Cotton, Republican senator from Arkansas, had some very pointed questions to Todd Blanche in that meeting today. The same with Chuck Grassley, the longtime senator from Iowa as well. And you could see just how glum some of the senators were, some not even talking to the press because they just wanted to get out. As soon as they sent out the notice that they were cutting senators, that is the signal that this bill to fund the Border Patrol and ICE is dead in the water. The whole idea was that they were going to work late this week, get this done maybe in the Senate overnight tonight, and then move this to the House of Representatives, and the House would just have to sync up. As you mentioned, this June 1st deadline, that's something that was made up. It's something that the president said he wanted this done by, but they have been dealing with spending bills for the 2026 appropriation cycle since this time last year. And so they have to go back to the drawing board. They have to rejigger this bill. It's not going to get done right now. And even though President Trump has been on a winning streak politically. He's not getting done what he wants legislatively here on Capitol Hill as they miss that deadline. Bill?
All right, Chad, and I'm just reading some text from our Capitol Hill team here. The House also expected to leave today after their vote series at 4:30 p.m. So both the Senate and the House leaving and will be going home. Obviously, President Trump not going to be happy about this. As you mentioned, they will be missing that June 1st deadline. Chad Pergram, live on Capitol Hill. Chad, thanks as always.
Yeah. So John Tuner's facing a big hula there. I think. And yeah, this is Mike Steger. He is with Promethean Action. And we lost Facebook again. I don't know what's going on. It's actually rather annoying that keeps happening. But here we go.
NAFTA was an economic nuclear bomb. But decades before NAFTA, central banks in the City of London planned the total dismantlement of the U.S. industrial economy. In 1979, Paul Volcker, who took over the Federal Reserve, raised interest rates to 21%. This suffocated our industrial economy. But in 1978, 9 months earlier, he gave a speech published in the Banker magazine of London where he said this: "Indeed, I was tempted to take as my text today one of Fred Hirsch's last dicta. A controlled disintegration in the world economy is a legitimate objective for the 1980s. And he went on, "We live in a world in which individuals and businessmen, as never before, have the capacity and the incentives to buy and sell where they want and when they want. And they want to do so unencumbered by national boundaries." He calls it controlled disintegration. But what he's calling for is massive free trade. Eliminate national boundaries. In other words, let the global corporations and banks run the global economy. Nations are now irrelevant. It's time to disintegrate their industrial and political power and put them under corporate control. This is the crux of globalization. Central banks would go on to crush national industries, while free trade agreements like NAFTA would be the hammer and tong to tear up what was left. In this video, I'm going to document the war President Trump and his team have waged against this free trade Goliath, how we're securing the Western Hemisphere based on American principles, and that this fortress America is built with the heart and soul of the American heartland. I'm Mike Steger, and I live in that heartland, NAFTA's ground zero. I've been fighting these traitors for over 20 years, and the bigger these globalists get, the harder they're going to fall. This is what an American Revolution 3.0 looks like. For perspective, real U.S. manufacturing wages peaked in 1978, when over 20% of the workforce was employed in manufacturing. Inflation-adjusted wages bottomed out in 1994, when NAFTA was passed. But look at the hours of manufacturing work required to buy a home. This is a better measurement of real wages than inflation-adjusted numbers. In 1970, the best year on record, it took an American factory worker just 7,000 hours of work to buy the median American home, the best on record. Today, it takes over 14,000 hours, double. The American worker is doing twice the work for the same roof over his head. This is economic warfare, and the midterms are about sustaining our offensive. April 2nd, 2025 was Liberation Day, but it wasn't Victory Day. Within a week of Liberation Day, the 10-year Treasury yield spiked. Hedge funds started unwinding. Vice President Vance warned of this kind of economic warfare during the campaign. The Wall Street Journal editorial board and every City of London mouthpiece predicted imminent collapse of the American economy and the end of the Republican Party. What the Bank of England did to Liz Truss in the UK, they were now trying to do to President Trump. But on April 9th, President Trump announced a 90-day pause on most of the reciprocal tariffs. Fortune magazine ran the headline, "Bond Vigilantes Killed Trump's Reciprocal Tariffs." The globalists thought they'd won, but they had no idea. Trump kept the universal 10% baseline tariff. He kept the China tariffs. He kept the Mexico and Canada tariffs. He used the 90 days to negotiate 8 bilateral deals that covered 45% of all U.S. trade and secured trillions in promised investments from nations and corporations alike. By summer, yields stabilized. The recession they predicted never came. But on April 4th, 2 days after Liberation Day, Beijing also pulled its trigger. China imposed export licensing requirements on 7 heavy rare earth elements and rare earth magnets. Within weeks, the American auto industry reported they were facing production shutdowns. American defense contractors couldn't get magnets for fighter jets, missile guidances, or submarine sonar. Controlled disintegration didn't just shut down American factories, it meant America couldn't defend itself without Beijing's permission. But 20 days later in South Korea, President Trump and President Xi sat down face to face. Afterwards, China suspended the rare earth controls and ended their retaliatory tariffs. Today, the tariffs on China still stand, while Beijing is trying to mitigate the trade losses. The journals predicted carnage never arrived. The recession never happened. Republican prospects in states like Michigan look better than they have in decades. While London's bond vigilantes and Beijing had tried to finish off America, President Trump's team has been building the machine that wins the real war. Last summer, the Department of Defense took an equity stake in MP Materials, Mountain Pass Materials, the only American rare earth processor at scale. Then they set a price floor ensuring long-term viability so that China will no longer have a monopoly. On February 4th of this year, the administration created, with 54 other nations, a preferred trading group for critical minerals and set a similar price floor, ending China's dumping and Wall Street's financial grift. Our producers will now have access to the largest global market. The Department of Energy has already invested over $1 billion in 2025 for rare earth processing, magnet manufacturing, mining technology, and battery materials. $1 billion. The DOE is also spending another $80 billion on 10 new nuclear power plants with parts already on order. The American natural gas build-out is 10 gigawatts through 2026, but there are over 100 gigawatts of plants waiting for American-made gas turbines. And the Trump team hasn't just used tariffs. They've shredded the entire free trade dogma under financial warfare. They've used tariffs, government financing and credit, price controls, pressures on the Federal Reserve, and even government equity to create growing industrial demand. Everything from raw materials, mining, and processing to energy, industrial components, and infrastructure. We haven't even touched on the chip fabs and other factories that are being built all over the country. As national demand grows, trillions in capital investments are now expanding supply capacity for the long term. We are rebuilding from the ground up. So if you like waging war on the globalists, then you should sign up for our Promethean Action newsletter. We don't pull punches, and we know how to win the war. Check the description below and hit like, subscribe, and the bell, and tell YouTube's algorithm to share this video. By December 2025, U.S. Trade Rep Jamison Greer put a stake in the heart of NAFTA 2.0. He said a rubber stamp of the USMCA is not in the national interest. The head of the UAW, Shawn Fain, who endorsed Kamala Harris in 2024, announced his total support. Just last week, wearing a Kill NAFTA t-shirt, Shawn Fain said this: "What finally killed the American dream is what we called the free trade disaster. And if we want to revive the American dream, we need to fix our broken trade deals, starting with the USMCA." Let's put this in context. Since Paul Volcker took over the Fed in 1979, the UAW has shrunk by 65%, from 1.5 million to less than 500,000. These were high-paying American jobs that enabled people to raise a family and buy a home. Since 1994 and NAFTA, we've lost 90,000 factories nationally. 90,000 factories. 5 million manufacturing jobs, and 350,000 of those jobs were the auto sector, a third of the entire auto industry. Meanwhile, those jobs went to Mexico. Their auto workforce grew from 120,000 to over 800,000, all based on lower wages and lower benefits. Michigan alone has lost 340,000 manufacturing jobs since the 1990s. That is roughly 7% of Michigan's entire workforce. But this is not just about jobs. At a recent interview with the CFR, Jameson Greer made the point that we are rebuilding critical manufacturing ecosystems. This is what makes advanced manufacturing so powerful. These are highly developed, integrated production systems. From energy grids and high heat systems, logistics, raw material processing, and fabricated metals, to electronics and AI integrated design, random parts, custom moldings, and prototype machining. All the things necessary to produce modern industrial or consumer products. This is why entire towns in America were once supported by one major factory. The towns were part of an integrated production ecosystem, and this creates two different potentials. The first is that by rebuilding critical industries needed for national defense or national sovereignty, like what we needed during the COVID lockdowns, we'll have the ability to produce anything we need. Because once you have the critical ecosystems up and running, they can produce just about anything. The auto industry was once renowned as the build anything industry. But this means everything: rocket engines and B-24 bombers, or plastic cups, wood pencils, towels, and t-shirts. Once you have the productive system running, it's easy to expand into other less critical areas. Second, and this is the crux of the American system, industrial ecosystems are necessary for real scientific and technological advancement. We can't advance the technology if we can't build it. Apple can design a new iPhone, but if China can't or won't build it, it doesn't matter. The manufacturer controls technological advancement, not the designer. This is the genius of Elon Musk. He has built SpaceX around a vertical ecosystem. It's all in-house. The design engineers work side by side with the machinists to simplify the design and improve the production process. This lies at the core of what we're reviving today. And it gets even deeper. Scientific discovery is the core of real technological leaps. Planck's quantum comes from the study of Germany's industrial heat processes. Einstein's insights into time, space, and energy come from the development of electrical power stations and clock towers. Divorcing science from industrial and technological advancement will kill both. By reviving industrial ecosystems, we not only ensure national defense, we're uplifting our own population, we're improving our standards of living, and we're inspiring the next generation of great scientists, not the academics like we have today, but the people who truly understand in a profound way the benefits of industry, production, and technology for our nation and our fellow man. It can rightly be said that these manufacturing ecosystems are the core of a moral and creative nation, and that's what we're now reviving in the United States. Under President Trump, every major sector of Mexico's exports to the United States is now being prosecuted by the Trade Office for violating basic labor agreements, from auto, steel, mining, and manufacturing to call centers, food processing, and garment factories. Free trade was never about productivity. It was about cheap labor, not citizens, not national success, and that era is now over. What President Trump is reviving is the Lincoln Republican Labor Coalition. American patriots, working men and women, the union halls, the farms, the steel towns, and the auto plants. The Republican Party is now the party of working families. And then add to this the prosecution of the drug war against the narco-terrorists. Because for the global corporations and their mouthpieces, like The Economist, it's all just business. Drugs are high profits. They make good money, and they increase political control by weakening the population. On April 29, 2026, a federal indictment was unsealed against 10 Mexican political officials, including the Sinaloa state governor, Ruben Rocha Moya. Every single one of them is a member of President Sheinbaum's political party. The political pressure is coming down. Some of them have already turned themselves in to American authorities. The speculation is that they are preparing to be state witnesses. But even Mexico is moving against the cartels. On February 22nd, Mexican special forces killed cartel leader El Mencho in Jalisco. His designated successor, the Gardener, was captured in April. There have been 92 cartel extraditions since February of 2025. And then now turn north to Canada. Mark Carney is the City of London's man in Ottawa, the central banker that makes even Paul Volcker look good. On May 8th, the entire Obama globalist apparatus assembled on Canadian soil similar to the plotters against Abraham Lincoln, to hold a strategy session about how they could survive what they called Trump's interregnum. This is the British coup. It's Russiagate, now from London to Toronto. But while Carney is being toasted by Davos, Canada is hemorrhaging. They've lost 51,000 manufacturing jobs in the last 12 months. Ontario is the hardest hit because they are losing their auto plants. The Royal Bank of Canada just warned that without dramatic policy change, Canada could lose its entire auto industry by 2040. And Carney's response? Wage political warfare against President Trump while doubling down on the same failed globalist doctrines: free trade, carbon credits, EV mandates, net zero commitments. With more of this kind of success, Canada will be begging to be the 51st state. And this kind of reorganization is happening throughout the entire hemisphere. On May 14th of this year, CIA Director John Ratcliffe traveled to Havana. This is only the second time in history a sitting CIA director has visited the island of Cuba. The message to the Cubans was clear: if the Soviets can end the Cold War, then so can the Cubanos. On January 3rd, American forces removed Nicolas Maduro from power. Delcy Rodriguez was installed as interim Venezuelan president. The Energy Secretary, Chris Wright, is now projecting a 30 to 40% growth across the entire Venezuelan oil sector just this year. The potential is practically unlimited for Venezuela's long-term economic growth and what that means for all of the Americas. Political prisoners are now being released by the hundreds. Money launderers and senior Maduro regime officials are being extradited and prosecuted. And this is even happening in Greenland. On May 18th of this year, U.S. Ambassador to Denmark, Ken Howry, and Special Envoy to Greenland, Jeff Landry, traveled to Nuuk, Greenland, where they opened a new, expanded 32,000 square foot U.S. consulate, a permanent, physical American presence to direct U.S. Greenland economic and security ties outside of Copenhagen and the EU. No invasion needed, just the long game of reviving the true America and promoting global economic growth. 46 years ago, Paul Volcker stood in front of a British audience and called for the controlled disintegration of the global economy. This was the same year that those globalist forces launched the Ayatollah coup in Iran. Now, 46 years later, an American president has finally reversed that insane globalist doctrine, and soon it will be reversed for the entire world. This is what an American-style strategy looks like: American Revolution 3.0. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe, and share this video with someone you know that knows globalization has nearly destroyed America, but they still have a bad case of TDS and can't see the forest through the flies. I'll see you next week. NAFTA was an economic nuclear bomb.
Hey everybody, it's Tim Burchett. I'm out here in the field looking at
Dang nabbit,
lightning
my
bugs.
microphone was off.
Every time I worry about what's going on, about 9 o'clock every night, at least in East Tennessee, you can set your watch by it. Lightning bugs come out. And I'm always amazed at what God had in mind. I always worry when things just seem like they're out of control. The economy, people got a mortgage, you got payments you got to make on things, and making ends meet, and where the world's headed. My goodness. And I think, is God in control? And then I come out here and look at these dadgum lightning bugs, and I think, how in the world am I even questioning that? And we have literally a bug that lights up its tail through a chemical reaction. One time I said it was electricity, but I was quickly corrected, but still, it's pretty cool. What the heck do they do that for? You got peacocks, mating season, they'll throw the feathers out, and the turkey, the tom, he struts around. Us rednecks, we throw in a little aqua velva or a brute and head to the honky tonk, I guess. And Nobody's really sure why those dadgum lightning bugs light up, but they do. If you don't have if you don't treat your yard with a bunch of chemicals, you probably got them too, at least if you live in the South. Anyway, I just think they're pretty cool. I think God was just like one of those moments, I guess, and everything else wasn't cool enough, and he just had to one up everything. So that's my random thought for the evening. Hope everybody's doing all right, and thank y'all for sending me here.
He's God had to one up himself with making the lightning bug. Tim Burchett, yeah, I like him. So CENTCOM put this out, and this was yesterday. CENTCOM announces U.S. military unleashed Hellfire missile at a ship's engine room in the Gulf of Oman, which was trying to ship to an Iranian port.
New report indicates at least 5 Americans were hurt in a recent Iranian missile attack on Kuwait.
Madeline Rivera joins us from Washington, D.C. with all the latest details. Maddie, good morning.
Good morning, guys. So that 2-hour meeting ended yesterday with little clarity as to whether the president will move forward with this memo of understanding. A White House official telling Fox President Trump will only make a deal that is good for America and satisfies his red lines. Iran can never possess a nuclear weapon. The president has maintained his key asks, which not only includes preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon, he also demanded unrestricted shipping traffic in the Strait of Hormuz and the removal of mines in the waterway. And regarding Iran's highly enriched uranium, the president says the stockpile, sometimes referred to as nuclear dust, will be unearthed by the United States, which it is agreed is the only country, along with China, with the mechanical capability of doing so in close coordination and conjunction with the Islamic Republic of Iran, plus the International Atomic Energy Agency, and destroyed. But Iran's parliament speaker says in a defiant post, we seize concessions not through dialogue, but with missiles. In negotiations, we merely make them understand we have no trust in guarantees or words. Only actions are the measure. The winner of any agreement is the one who is better prepared for war from the day after. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth warning that military action is still on the table if both sides can't reach a deal.
Our ability to recommence if necessary is we are more than capable. Our stockpiles are more than suited for that, both there and around the globe, because of how we balance exquisite and more plentiful munitions. So we're in a very good place.
Meantime, Bloomberg reports at least 5 Americans were hurt after Iran launched a ballistic missile towards a Kuwaiti airbase earlier this week. The missile was intercepted by Kuwaiti forces, but falling debris reportedly hit the Ali Al Salam airbase. Per Bloomberg, 2 MQ-9 Reaper drones were also seriously damaged in the incident. Charlie, Rachel, and Griff.
All right, Matt.
Interesting, huh? Yeah. So, this is interesting. President Trump pretty much demanded, let's see if I can get this big enough to read it. All right, it says, can you imagine a Barack Hussein Obama judge named Christopher Cooper who has stopped a magnificent structural and aesthetic rebuilding of the Trump Kennedy Center, where millions of dollars of material, marble, furniture, steel, air conditioning, heating, and so much else was ordered or soon to be ordered, with the end result being a structure that would no longer be in a potential state of collapse, rusted, rotted, and rat and bug infested, to one that would be the finest anywhere in the world. It was necessary to close the center in order to get this work done. It is not possible to have a major and very dangerous construction job, including the replacement of structural beams, with audiences innocently going in to watch a play. The marble is in terrible shape. The pipes are gone. The air conditioning and heating systems are 65 years old and are no longer functioning. It is all being torn out to be replaced by brand new career equipment at the highest standard. Now that won't happen anymore because a judge whose wife is an anti-Trump hater and he is too, decided unprecedentedly to allow or to not allow a desperately needed building renovation to go forward. On top of that, he said, rip his name off the building. He's got 20 days to do so, even though a large board of some of the most distinguished people in the country voted unanimously to put the name up. I didn't do it. The board did it because they thought it would be good for this dying institution, which was doing record low business and especially after COVID, only getting worse. True for other such institutions throughout the country. But Trump Kennedy Center was going to be a special one. Would it fully recovered when none others will? It would have been a new standard of excellence, one of many gifts to Washington, D.C. The new building would have been incomparable. Beautiful marble, magnificent chandeliers, the finest carpets, rugs, and furniture designed at the highest level, but perhaps most importantly, replaced steel on many beams, columns, and girders, making the building structurally sound again. People shouldn't be allowed to go into that building until this is fixed. And yet the Trump-hating judge wants to keep it open because his wife probably told him to do so. Cooper's wife, Amy Jeffress, who doesn't use Cooper name because they, as a couple, don't want people to know she has a conflict of interest with an important judge, is a radical left Democrat who worked as a federal prosecutor and counselor to the Obama Attorney General Eric Holder, worked behind the scenes for the January 6th Unselect Committee of Political Hacks and Thugs, dirty cop FBI attorney Lisa Page in the Hillary Clinton email scandal, Russia hoax, and her millions of dollars settlement, even though she was guilty as hell and is currently representing Sleepy Joe Biden on the release of his audio tapes and more. She also works for the same legal firm that represented E. Jean Carroll, who received a decision against me now under appeal that was shocking to the entire world. Amy is totally wired into the left system from her husband down. It is impossible for me to be treated fairly. He has a total conflict of interest and should be brought up on charges for not revealing these facts. That is why the Kennedy Center will soon be closed, probably never to open again. That is why at a different level, and with different players, our country lost the tariff case and is forced to pay back $149 billion in money received from people who hate everything we stand for. They are laughing all the way to the bank at how stupid we are. One half sentence clause from the Supreme Court would have saved us this incalculable amount of money. That is probably why our country will lose the birthright citizenship case. No other country than our political system is rigged, and the people of our country know it. And that is why I got overwhelmingly elected to president in record numbers and will fight. President Donald J. Trump wasn't fucking around when he made that statement. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah. And, and then this is a great picture too. Billions were spent to convince you this is evil. The nuclear family. So, and then you got decline is a choice. And there's your three biggest governors that are doing it. Even Oregon's jumping on the bandwagon. People can make their own choices, but it's hard not to notice the hypocrisy when somebody suddenly has a problem with politics after years of performing only for Democrats. Either way, America will survive just fine without Martina McBride at the party. And I have to 100% agree. Having worked in the Nashville area in the circuit, she performed for Barack Obama. She performed for Hillary Clinton. She performed for Joe Biden, performed for DNC events and Democrat fundraisers and galas. And her excuse was, I thought it was nonpartisan. Yeah, well, sorry, Martina, but I turn the radio off when I hear your voice, frankly. You know, I saw a long time ago you weren't who you portrayed yourself to be. So I stopped. Yep. So we covered that. Some of this stuff I share because of the fact that, all right. Talked about Paris already. Yeah. All right. So this is in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, New York. Appears 6 or 7 individuals were spotted coming out of a different manhole. It appears men all had tools on them as well. We have a real problem on our hand, and this is the second video of stuff like this that I've been seeing and seeing talked about. These are all young Muslim guys. So what exactly are they doing down in an area, you know, and they're gonna walk away, you know, because see if those were like legit people, there would have been, you know, he's got, and they're walking away with tools. No cones, no safety, you know, things in Brooklyn. Come on now. Come on now. Maybe smash and grab from underneath, or were they placing something to cause a problem? You know, you know what I'm saying? So, terroristic type activity, you know. So, and then Tim Burchett had this say.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Mr. President. Tim Burchett. I, like you, am a little ticked off and disappointed that some of these, I guess, so-called musicians have decided that they have some problem with celebrating our 250th anniversary of the founding of this great country. To think that patriotism is going to offend somebody. And we all know that these New York or Los Angeles or Hollywood PR firms wrote these statements. It's pathetic. Anyway, what we ought to do is, my suggestion would be get your friend and my friend John Rich, great musician, to lead it off. He's got some great patriotic tunes he's written and he sings, and I mean, it's just awesome. And let him MC the dadgum thing and have all these folks come in. There's plenty of acts in Nashville, people that are trying to get on, you know, get on a big stage like this. This is the world stage, be the largest stage in the world. Everybody in the country will be watching this dadgum thing. And let some of those musicians get out and sing a few songs. All we'd have to do is pay for their dadgum airfare, most of them, just to get them up there, and they'd love it. And then, of course, have Kid Rock. Nobody's more patriotic in the rock and roll world than he is, and he's awesome. And then I know you got his number. Heck, I've been with him when he's called you. And then the finale would be cool to have Lee Greenwood come out and sing. He's got a bunch of great songs, but of course, the ending would be God Bless the USA, and have all the other acts come out and sing along with him. And maybe they could do a single verse, Kid Rock or John Rich or something could do one of the verses. And I think that would be awesome. Have all those great stars up on stage. And anyway, if y'all got any ideas of some groups that would, from your area, that would be willing to play, how about tagging them in this story, and let's see if we can make this thing happen. So anyway, thank y'all so much for sending me here. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Mr. President. Tim Burchett.
Actually, how would you go about in tagging somebody? I don't know how to do that. I would tag I think that's how you. I hope that's how you do it. Because if not, then I just messed up. But all right. Let's see. So and Trump claps back at the New York Times. And President Trump just posted this absolute banger, destroying the failing New York Times for crying about the striking exodus of legal talent from his administration. Gunther Eagleman put this one up. Let's see what it says here. The New York Times wrote a story today entitled Trump Administration Sees Striking Exodus of Legal Talent, as though that's a bad thing, when actually it's very good. The people that are leaving are radical left deep state lunatics who are destroying our country and weaponizing government. Many of them didn't leave, but were fired. The failing New York Times writes this, but makes it sound like it's a terrible thing when actually it's just the opposite. We want people that will make America great again, not people who are trying to destroy our country that were put in by Obama and Biden in many cases. They shouldn't have been representing the United States in the first place. Let them go on to bigger, better, and brighter things in the future. I fully support that and wish them all well. President Donald J. Trump. Yeah. So just saying, you know. And it's these aren't just random lawyers leaving. The radical left, deep state lunatics who were weaponizing the government. You know, and it's yeah. This is what Dreaming in the Swamp looks like. The left is losing their grip on the bureaucracy and they're freaking out. Yeah, just saying. Just saying. All right, then see, so Trump is endorsing Byron Donalds for Florida governor. I'm not going to go through all that one. I don't live in Florida, so. And then there's this. This is the body of one of the missing scientists is found. The remains of Melissa Cassius, I think is her name. I hope I pronounced it right. Were discovered outside of Taos, New Mexico, on the edge of a national park by a hiker yesterday. She was a high-level assistant at the Department of Energy Los Alamos National Laboratory and disappeared last year in June. Her erased phones, wallet, and car keys were left in her home in Ranchos de Taos home. Her car was left parked outside. Cause of death has not yet been released. This stinks to high hell. Her erased phone. You know, just saying. Just yeah. And then Donald Trump says it was just revealed that the FBI had secretly placed against all rules, regulations, protocol standards, 274 FBI agents into the crowd just prior to it and during the January 6th hoax. This is different from what Director Christopher Wray stated over and over again. That's right. As it is now turns out, the FBI agents were at and in the January 6th protest, probably acting as agitators and insurrectionists, but certainly not as law enforcement officials. I want to know who each and every one of these so-called agents are and what they were up to on that historic day. Many great American patriots were made to pay a very big price only for the love of their country. I owe this investigation of dirty cops and crooked politicians to them. Christopher Wray, and then director of the FBI, has some major explaining to do. That's 2 in a row. Comey and Wray, who got caught lying with our great country at stake. We can never let this happen to America again. Man, meme says, I hope this goes somewhere. All right. Cash Patel put this one up. Another 764 network arrest, 33-year prison sentence for a predator who targeted and exploited over 100 children. 150-year sentence for one arrested predator, 91 violent crime arrests out of St. Louis from our national operations, Operation Viper. 9 million fraud takedown in Baltimore, Operation Satoria, saving 80 plus kids and more. Another nonstop week at our FBI, crushing crime all over the country. Yeah. So they're working, no doubt about it. All right. And then Homeland Security decided to put out a statement of their own.
A perimeter has now been established until further notice at Roanoke and Wilson on Doremus Ave. We remain connected to our local, county, state, and federal partners to support the safety of all persons exercising their First Amendment rights. Last night, we sent out an emergency message delivered to everyone's phones within the area, advising them of the curfew that we created from the city of Newark. I encourage everyone to comply with the mandatory curfew issued for the area within a 1/2 mile of Delaney Hall. The curfew will be enforced daily from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. and will remain in effect until further notice. A perimeter has now been established.
Yeah. So they're done playing around, you know. And then this happened the next day. It's short coverage here. And mass arrest bus is officially being loaded here in Newark with rioters in their expensive kits being taken into custody. This is the way. Don't take the BS, Rudy. Yep. So, and then Hakeem Jeffries, a reminder for Representative Jeffries. You know, actually, let's listen to this idiot for a minute.
Here in America, immigration enforcement should be fair, just, and humane. That's not what's going on here at Delaney Hall. We spoke to several individuals, none of whom has a criminal record, many of whom have been detained here at Delaney Hall for months. This is not America. The lack of access to quality food, that's not America. The lack of access to adequate medical treatment, that's not America. The retaliation that is taking place, that's not America. The fact that there are 18-year-old high school girls being held here is not America. Delaney Hall should be shut down. And every single individual, particularly those at a high level connected to this facility, they're engaging in a depraved indifference to human life. And every single member of this Trump administration is going to be held accountable. You know, the more I see him, you know, the more of a traitor he proves himself to be. And it just amazes me, you know, but DHS doesn't make the laws, Congress does. And guess what, Hakeem? You're a member of Congress. We don't pick and choose which laws to enforce, and neither should you as a lawmaker. It is a crime to enter the United States illegally. Everyone being held inside Delaney Hall broke the law. U.S. Code Title 8, Section 1325. This is a detention center. We do not provide luxury accommodations. What we do provide are basic necessities like beds, clean water, comprehensive health care, and 3 meals a day until they go home. If you come to our country illegally, you will find yourself
find you, and we will find you and we will arrest you. We encourage all illegals to self-deport today via the CBP app, CBP Home app, DHS.gov. Yeah. And then this girl here, self-proclaimed liberal and real estate agent from Louisville, Kentucky, who just had to share how she feels about Pam Bondi's thyroid cancer. If you got basic human decency and you're house hunting in Kentucky, steer clear of this woman. Yeah.
And I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right. And I'm not.
And this is as somebody's talking about she was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. So just saying. All right, and then this is going on here.
California just told a city that they could be prosecuted for trying to save a trafficked child. El Cajon gets a federal tip, potentially trafficked kid. Officers want to do a wellness check, and a council member has to sit there and tell them, we can't. State law won't let us because of SB 54, California's sanctuary law, the one Sacramento is super proud of. So El Cajon said enough, and they sued the state, as they should. And here's what makes me furious about this. The people who wrote this law said out loud that the goal was to let illegal immigrants live without fear of deportation. Those are their words. They put it in the legislative record, and then they made it a felony to cooperate with federal law enforcement. They chose that over kids, over trafficking victims, over your safety, and over children's safety. This isn't about politics. This is about which law is supreme in this country. And spoiler, it's not Sacramento's. El Cajon is fighting this in court, and they need people paying attention, because if California wins this, if a state can just opt out of federal law whenever it's convenient, we are in serious trouble, and the kids are in trouble. So share this video, tell people what's happening, because one thing we can count on is the media isn't going to, and California definitely isn't going to.
All right, and this is Emily Saves Los Angeles is who this young lady is, and I really like it. I really like her message, and she didn't even have to drop an F-bomb to get the message across. So I give her props for that. Scott Bissett, here we go.
Model, but for many people around the country, 38% of American families have no exposure to our great equity market. They don't participate in the innovation, in our economic engine. They don't understand our great management. So with the Trump accounts, with the children who were born during President Trump's administration, Treasury will seed those accounts with $1,000. But anyone with children under 18 should open a Trump account, because many of the great philanthropists are also putting money in. Families can put up to $5,000 in per year, per child. And many states are going to participate. Corporations are going to participate. Comcast is participating.
So, talking about the Trump accounts and it's we've known a lot of people who've gone and passed this information on to their kids, their grandkids, and if they're under the age of 10, they can get it right now. Under the age of 10, they can get it right now. All newborns are their account is started automatically. You go in, you set it up, and boom, be a great way to do things. Yeah. So, and then here we go.
You got it right. And they're a mother and a daughter, by the way. And they would often pay moms to lie that their children had autism. And in that community, these kinds of behaviors were accepted. Well, this is a much bigger problem for the country. These programs, especially in Medicaid, were designed sort of on the honor system. You were asking people to pay for things your family would normally do for you. And so you'd assume they would take advantage of the system once in a while, but it would be very rare. So this is a good example in autism where we've taken an ailment, a tragic condition for many families that they're struggling financially to cope with. And it was supposed to cost $3 million, $4 million, not supposed to cost $400 million. And it doesn't get there unless you actually dupe people into thinking it's real. In Minnesota, which I have visited, we were there last week, as you know, with the White House Anti-Fraud Task Force led by the Vice President, we were witnessing exactly why these two women were able to get away with it. Within the Department of Health, if you brought up race as an issue, you were a racist. And I actually think if you have red flags pointing to people, whatever race or background they have, you have to go after those problems. And they would ostracize and shut down whistleblowers who are trying to put their hand up and saying, you know, guys, there's something wrong here. At least help me look into the problems. And they escort these people out of the building and never let them return to their primary jobs. Well, the number one biller of Botox in the country just went to jail. She billed $25 million for Botox to Medicaid, pretending that it was going to help people with migraines. Again, fraudster, coming from a place you could not imagine. And we're catching these folks. But the real question we should be asking ourselves, is this a flaw or is it a feature? Why is the number one job in New York State personal care service?
Good question. Good question. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm throwing together a pot of coffee. Give me a minute. Bear with me. Bear with me. I'll be right with you. Hang on. Yeah, definitely need a second pot today. All right. Sorry about that. Had to get that coffee made. All right. Let's keep moving along. All right. This is Kelly Loeffler. She's got an announcement in regards to some more fraud that they're in the process of recovering.
We've combated it from day one with a zero tolerance policy, not just on fraud, but on waste and abuse. And our agency, in the last year, we've reduced headcount by 53% while generating record small business loan volume that was legitimate because we implemented a fraud risk framework based on what we saw during COVID. And you're exactly right. PPP, we all remember during COVID and the economic injury disaster loans came out to the tune of $1.2 trillion COVID. The Biden OIG said 200 billion of it was fraudulent. And the Biden administration attempted to forgive all the fraudulent loans and just hide it under the rug. Well, we're a key member of Vice President Vance's task force because this is not going to be business as usual. We are going to make sure there's accountability, that people are arrested in jail. We already have that. You can go to the SBA website and see people are serving jail terms for this. There's restitution, not just from people, but from banks who knowingly defrauded the federal government. So thanks to the task force, we are moving very quickly. And we just announced $22 billion in SBA fraudulent PPP loans are being prosecuted, not just through IRS, but through the DOJ. That's 562,000 borrowers who are going to have their files turned over to the Department of Justice for prosecution. That would have never been possible without this president and vice president's efforts.
Just saying, there's something to it. Yep. All right. And this is Tennessee gubernatorial candidate Monty Fritz is now going viral for his latest campaign video. Well, let's take a listen.
The same people that many of us spent decades fighting are now overrunning our shores because we have weak, corrupt politicians. We've got a Muslim problem. Article 1, Section 3 of the Tennessee Constitution is very clear. All men have a natural and indefeasible right to worship Almighty God within the dictates of their conscience. That's the God of the Bible. That's not these other false gods that people want to introduce into America. There's no room for mosques in the state of Tennessee.
Hail, hail, Lion of Judah. Let the lion roar.
It's pretty simple, I think. Yeah. All right. And then let's see. So this is Tommy Robinson says 1 dead, 219 injured as invaders rioted and looted across France last night. 57 police officers amongst the injured. 8 people are fighting for their lives in intensive care, including a teenager stabbed at the Champs-Élysées with the World Cup about to begin. Expect more. And they were, yep, this is what I was saying earlier, you know, that they're looting, burning, and everything else. And then this story here kind of ticked me off.
Now on Just One station, horses missing after a barn break-in. That search ending hours later and not far from their home. 2 animals found butchered about a mile away.
And tonight, their owners, as you can imagine, are looking for answers. Tonight Team's Alex Browning has this exclusive.
For somebody to have the stomach to do something like this is heartless.
A heartless horse heist in southwest Miami-Dade over the weekend.
This is the same thing as going into somebody's yard, taking their dog, and cooking it.
Turning deadly. 2 horses swiped from southwest Miami-Dade turned up dead. Their corpses found Sunday morning off southwest 205th Avenue.
Noticed that the fence was cut, and at that point we realized that they were taken.
Owner David says it started sometime overnight Saturday. His 2 horses, Sammy and War, on the home front, stolen from their stalls off southwest 207th Avenue.
There are children, and they were abducted and killed for meat.
Their corpses later found a few blocks away.
Both horses were slaughtered sometime over the weekend. We need to come together, help out the detectives in this investigation. Let's give some closure to the family, and of course, put behind bars these individuals that would do such a heinous crime.
A mystery leaving a family heartbroken and now searching for answers.
You know, our children are heartbroken. My wife's heartbroken, and you know, we're just trying to get through this.
And now detectives working to identify that mastermind behind this heist. If you have any information, call Miami-Dade Police. In southwest Miami-Dade, Alex Browning, 7 News 19.
It's sick that they do that. You know, just saying, it's like, you know, it's crazy. So, and then, let's see. Okay, and then Jeremy put this one up this morning.
Hey guys, good morning. It is Monday, June 1st, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I do have 2 big pieces of breaking news for you to start this week. First, the TSA is officially now in partnership with the ICE and Border Patrol, and every single person that goes to take a flight, their name will now be run instantly through a database. It'll be shared from TSA to ICE and Border Patrol to find out if you are an illegal alien or not. So, if you are an illegal alien and you go to try to fly on a plane today, your name will be shared with ICE. ICE will either show up at that airport and arrest you, or they will show up at the airport that you get off the plane at and arrest you and schedule you for deportation. This is big. This is another step in the right direction. Mark Wayne Mullen working with the TSA. Beautiful move here. And this comes on the heels of them drawing up a plan to stop all international flights to sanctuary cities. So sooner or later here, folks, states and cities are going to comply. And with one swift move, the Department of Homeland Security just made your flights much more safe and has reduced the amount of travel that illegal aliens are doing from state to state in this country. Major news as it pertains to illegal aliens trying to travel about this nation. Second big piece of breaking news, a U.S. anti-terror agency just froze the investment funds that were raised by Representative Ilhan Omar and her husband, Tim Minette, and his business partner in 2022. According to the Washington Free Beacon, the Office of Foreign Assets Control allegedly placed the hold on millions of dollars raised for Badlands Ventures, a South Dakota marijuana investment firm, while Ilhan Omar was serving on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. So, two big pieces of breaking news that we're going to talk about on Live from America at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Rumble.com/LFATV and on YouTube, Live from America with Jeremy Harrell. See you then.
There you go. Nice update there, Jeremy. Thank you. Yeah. And then, Florida is getting ready for some major crackdowns.
A 17-year-old is wounded and several others are detained following a team takeover right here on Clearwater Beach. News Channel 8's Victoria Lucas is live tonight after the deputy chief issued a warning to prevent similar large violent gatherings. Victoria?
Ty, that's right. Deputy Chief Michael Wallach says the department found that the large gatherings seen tonight were planned and coordinated on social media, and the disturbances that followed will not be tolerated.
A chaotic scene at Clearwater Beach as Clearwater police officers tried to contain massive crowds along South Gulfview Boulevard Sunday night.
I just seen somebody point out a car and they cost me a whole bunch of rifles. And heard gunshots.
Clearwater Police Deputy Chief Michael Wallach says his officers were called to Coronado Drive just after 5 for a report of a shooting that started with a fight.
Some of those people who gathered decided to break the law tonight.
Deputy Chief Wallach says a 17-year-old was shot and taken to Orlando Health Bayfront Hospital.
We had other reports of large crowds that had gathered in other locations and were creating a disturbance.
Deputy Chief Wallach says officers with the assistance of the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office and Largo Police Department tried to defuse those disturbances. Wallach has this message for those thinking of coming to the beach in the future.
To anyone who plans to come here and engage in the kind of behavior we saw this evening, don't do it. If you do, your trip to the beach will end up with a trip to jail.
Unclear how that 17-year-old who was shot is doing tonight, and authorities haven't mentioned if charges will be filed. I did ask authorities if the shooting was connected to the large gathering, and they tell me it's too early to tell, but they can tell me the shooting happened during the large gatherings. Live in Clearwater, Doria Lucas, 8 on your side.
Yep. Not good. Not good. You get some things going in the right direction, and then you got crap like this pop up when it's just unruly kids, and 90% of them are like it needs to come to a point where, because they're kids, that they're, because you think about when we were teens, it was a couple of pony kegs, out in the woods in a fire, and, or in somebody's backyard, and, that's kind of out of town a little bit out of town, things like that. Or it was a roller skating rink, or it was the arcade, or it was the pool hall. World got angry since then. They got really angry, you know. So, because I only got a little bit of time left here. I got about 10 minutes. Last night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. forces successfully intercepted 2 Iranian ballistic missiles targeting American forces based in Kuwait. These missiles were immediately defeated and no American personnel were harmed. U.S. Central Command remains vigilant and will continue to protect our forces from Iranian aggression while supporting the ongoing ceasefire. Yeah, so I keep up on CENTCOM as much as possible, and then you know, it makes you wonder why government accounts are posting things that are directly related to Q posts. All right, locked in. Good morning. Trust the plan. Department of War, and this is their CENTCOM office, or the Department of War CTO office, the official account for the Office of the Undersecretary of War for Research and Engineering. Why would it be saying, good morning, trust the plan, locked in? Just saying. This morning, Tina Peters walked free at long last. Her first appearance was here with on Real America's Voice, and I want to share that with you.
Tina, tell us what's it like to be finally a free woman?
You know, Steve, I'm not even sure yet. After 606 days in prison, it's been quite the ordeal, but you know, I really want to thank God for his faithfulness and getting me through it. And, you know, it's been, I think probably for me, Steve, to impress upon every person out there how hard it is to lose your liberty, how easy it is to lose your liberty, but how hard it is to endure it. And, you know, and I'm so grateful to the supporters out there that have stood with me. You know, my close circle, you know, Marcy, my best friend, who I called every day. You know, after they kept putting me in the hole, she made me promise to call her in the morning and at night every day. So people that wanted to get me a message could always reach her. And of course, with Apollo and Jared and Barbara and, you know, the other ones that have stood by me, and especially my attorneys. You know, John Case has visited me almost every week while I was in prison. And then the financial support. You know, I still have a fight to go. I still, you know, even though Governor Polis reduced my sentence from 9 years to 4.5 years, I still have a fight to clear my name and bring out the truth of why they came after me the way they did. So it's still a long road. I'm going to spend the next few weeks regaining my health and just being in with loved ones and family. And it's a miracle. It really is for Jared Polis. He pardoned 35 people and he gave clemency to 9, and I was one of the 9. And you know, you see the horrible media and the haters that don't go after you know, murderers and people like that you know, he chose to pardon, but they go after me. So there is a concern there for my well-being and my safety. But you know, I'm just very, very grateful to all of you. Thank you, Steve, for standing through with me through all of this.
Yep. So, yep. So she's free. And then, you know, this isn't a protest.
MS Now can confirm that multiple arrests were made on Sunday night.
Meanwhile, family visitation at that facility has now resumed. Hundreds of detainees have been engaged in a hunger strike, alleging expired food, denied medical care, and retaliation against those who do speak up. For its part, the Department of Homeland Security says there is no mistreatment inside that facility. MS Now can confirm.
Yeah. So, but I want to point something out here. Okay. You know, protesters don't show up with shields.
Detainees have been engaged in a hunger strike, alleging expired food, denied medical care, and retaliation against those who do speak up. For its part, the Department of Homeland Security says there is, meanwhile, family visitation at that facility has now resumed. Hundreds of detainees have been engaged in a hunger strike, alleging
fully masked, everything, dark glasses at night, you know, just saying. There's a difference between the people there who are protesting lawfully during the daytime and those who show up after when darkness comes. When darkness comes. Yeah. So thousands of U.S. Service members at sea and in the skies and from land are supporting the ongoing U.S. blockade against Iran. As of June 1st, CENTCOM forces have redirected 121 commercial vessels and disabled 5 to ensure compliance. 5, that's all it took. Yeah. So, but then let's go here.
Tina Peters is the only nonviolent offender that is on the commutation list. She was sentenced to almost 9 years in prison. And to be clear, she deserved to go to jail. She committed a crime. What's at issue here is how long the sentence is. And I agree with the appeals court that in the sentencing hearing, the judge incorrectly looked at and considered her bizarre viewpoints, her speech, and held her speech against her. She happens to be somebody that's espoused what I believe to be, what anybody objectively would believe to be incorrect opinions, conspiracies, etc. That is not a crime in our country. What is a crime is, along with 2 other co-conspirators, one got 6 months, one got parole only, accessed after a municipal election, election computers to download software for an independent audit prior to the software being updated. That is the crime. There were 4 felonies. Those felonies will stick with her. She's a convicted felon. And I believe that the 4.5 years that I'm commuting her sentence to, she'll be on parole along with a number of the other 9 next month, is a fair, just, and tough sentence for her crime.
I think you should be in jail for covering up what you know happened in your state, committing treason, basically, not just against your state, but also the country, because everything that you do there affects the states that are around you as well. So, you know.
The El Paso Sector Border Patrol said its targeting unit, Homeland Security Investigations, and ICE arrested 2 alleged Tren de Aragua members. On X, Border Patrol El Paso said the agencies had a targeted operation that led to both of those arrests. The Post said the members were in the U.S. illegally, and it included this video of the arrest, which happened at a home. The Border Patrol sector said the suspects will be removed from the country. The El Paso sector.
Yep. So they're getting more of them. And then, was there anything else that was like super important? Let's see. Let's see. More of the riots. Okay, this was the other one. So Dan Scavino posted something. You know, he says Dan Scavino is giving us a comm, letting us know this movie is about to end, and this is where today's title come from. Every journey has an end, and that's why I asked the question: the end of the journey? We don't know, but let's look at it. So, keyword journey. We are going to show you a new world. Those who are blind will soon see the light. A beautiful, brave new world lies ahead. We take this journey together, one step at a time. Where we go one, we go all. Q. Okay. Other people have posted other things. I think if this is a song, I'm going to have to mute it.
You are hereby charged by the United States of America on the following 4 counts: crimes against peace, war crimes, crimes against humanity, and of a common plan or conspiracy to commit those crimes.
Guilty of treason.
Okay, so this is going to show the Nuremberg scenes when they were all convicted. But 0420, wonder how he got a name like that. Yeah, I wonder how he got a name like that. As a matter of fact, I think we need to have a safety meeting before we go into the rest of these posts. Yeah, I think that, yeah, it's official. All right. It's and who is this one going to be sponsored by? This safety meeting is sponsored by, that's right, the tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorists. That's right. That's who it's provided by or sponsored by. It's not provided by because you're not here, so I'm not providing. If you were here, I would provide, but you're not here, so I can't provide. Yeah, you're on your own for this one. All right. Okay, so 4281. How about a nice chess game? And it refers the link to the chessworld.com article. Yeah, we're going to give ourselves a second. And then we're going to continue. I'm just saying. That one hit me so good that my eyes kind of blurred for a second. And I was like, it was good. All right. So it's chess strategy. What do you need to know about strategy and tactics? Objective, end in kill brackets. Okay. So there's more than one key word in that message from Dan Scavino. Okay. Every journey has an end. Okay. End in kill brackets. Checkmate. King. Do you attack the king at the beginning of the game? Do you attack and remove pawns first? Do you attack and remove bishops, rooks, knights next? Do you attack and remove queen mid to end? Is the game being played public or private? Do emotions affect critical thinking? Add important king control pieces. Rogue elements. Eliminate rogue elements. And that's even in kill brackets. Add, how do you set the stage, kill brackets, around the board regarding public opinion optics at this time? 4910. So many people refused still to admit the evils in the world. They're going to need to see a lot more. Freedom of information, truth, and kill brackets equals end. Endless lies, endless wars, endless inflation, endless printing, endless oppression, endless subjugation, endless surveillance. Who will put an end to the endless taking control? Q. Who are the silent thieves? This is 4962. Why are they manipulating you? How are they stealing your wealth? Bubble, crash, steal, lie, repeat. What is inflation? Monetary manipulation, taxation without representation. Put an end to the endless. 1913. The Fed. Q. I'm just saying, there's every journey has an end. Dan Scavino, now comes the pain. Q drop 23. The journey ends. The reckoning begins. Nothing can stop what is coming. Every journey has an end. Timestamp mirrored 302. 4 green, Q, end. Okay. And then 4384. Roger, ball has been called, good and green. There's always more to it than you think. Always more to it than you think. Always. Oh, yeah. Look at that. I took enough time to make sure that we hit some Q stuff. I made sure. I made sure. Stay with me, deplorables. You'll love how this movie ends. Yeah. So, who will put an end to the endless? Roger, ball has been called, good and green. 4 green. We take this journey together, one step at a time. Where we go one, we go all. Just everything is nothing with a twist. Infinite. Repetitive. Hold the line, riders. Justice is coming. Crimes against humanity. Yep. We are going to show you a new world. Those who are blind will soon see the light. A beautiful, brave new world lies ahead. We take this journey together, one step at a time. Where we go one, we go all. And I'm wondering why there seems to be a project going on there at the White House that, some people are saying it's looking like a Stargate, but it kind of reminds me of Looking Glass. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But it looks similar to Looking Glass. The drawings that we saw of Looking Glass. So, yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So with that, I'm going to leave you. I have things that I have to do today, but I am going to before I say my closer, I'm going to where is it? Where are you? Did I move it? Oh, what's that doing over there anyways? Oh, it's right there. Yeah. Let's have a outro safety before I say my goodbye. Whoop. Oh, you can't see it. Or can you? Oh, you can see it. I didn't think you could see it.
The dogs were raising hell again. It shadows in the dark. 26 old gardens sound every fall along. The fire dance beside the camp, throwing sparks into the night, while the moon hung over Hawks Farm like a land in the sky. Had a little cherry lemonade, courtesy of a faithful friend, mixed with bribeberry corn, let the day come to an end. The smoke rose slow through cedar trees, the words drifted too, and for a little while the world forgot what it was trying to do. And this is my happy place, just a fire and open space, dogs barking somewhere in the dark, mountains watching from afar, a bowl of prayer, quiet night, stars above and God's own light. The world can run its endless race, but this is my happy place. Every scar I've ever carried, every burden, every loss, seems a little lighter sitting beside those embers and that cross. The shepherds keep their vigil like they've done 1,000 nights, and somehow all that barking just reminds me life's alright. Yeah, this is my happy place, just a fire and open space, dogs barking somewhere in the dark, mountains watching from afar, a bowl of prayer, a quiet night, stars above and God's own light. The world can run its endless race, but this is my happy place. I ain't found peace in money, never found it on TV, never found it in the noise of what everybody thinks should be. Found it in a camper chair underneath the moonlit sky, with faithful dogs around me and the Lord walking by. Yeah, this is my happy place, where time slows down and grace falls soft as mountain moonlight across this weathered face. Just an old man and a shepherd, thankful for another day. And if heaven feels like anything, I think it feels this way. Yeah, peace and love in a place. If heaven feels like anything, I think it feels this way.
All right. My happy place. I did put that up on YouTube. I think I put it up on Rumble as well. I don't remember if I did or not. I think I did, and I think I put it up on Facebook as well. I haven't put it up on X. Well, it was just introduced to X just now. So, yeah. Yeah, it was. I was sitting out waiting on the blue moon, you know, and it was kind of weird, you know. I got this little. I don't have a fancy fire pit like that, by the way, and um, and I sure as hell don't have a lake view. Okay, but I do got that. Can you hear? Okay, yeah. It's yeah, a mouse can fart out there and they'll be going all night long. But the other night, you know, they were acting kind of weird. They kept walking out towards the edge of the field area here where we're set up. And easy now, easy now, easy now. And So they're acting kind of, you know, not skittish or anything, but kind of like staring off and like something was out there, kind of thing. You know, they were watching, and they were barking quite a bit too. So I went ahead and lit a fire. I sat down out there and I took a little bit of some stuff that faithful friend that I was talking about dropped off. And I mixed it together, and it was he brought me some plants to get out to a couple people and to grow some myself this year because I didn't start any that I had planned on doing for myself, so he dropped off samples of those, and I was like, "No, this is good because, you know, it gives you an idea of what you're going to be growing, you know, so what kind of effect it's going to have and everything." And I was sitting out there, and as they were barking, I was just like, "Yeah, it's my happy place, out in the woods, you know, nice little campfire, and the dog's acting foolish, you know." Or just laying around, whichever, you know. So either is fine with me. Good dogs. They're all standing at the screen door right now. Yeah. So so that's going to be it for me today. I will be back with you guys hopefully again tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it'll be tomorrow. I did warn you that I might not be on Sunday, and you did get a song no, so I did do that part. I have a couple other ones that I've been working on for quite a while, a few months, 3 or 4 months, that I'll be putting out probably in the next couple of days as well. Hope Dealer, what I do is I do sing, and I have witnesses that I can sing. But no, I don't. I don't have that capability out here right now. I run on a very small generator that pretty much powers the camper and the dog kennel. So I don't have any of that equipment out here to do all my own recording and everything. Someday that's going to happen. That I'll have access, but by that time I'll be too dang old to do it myself. I'll be getting some young artists. So what I've been doing is all the songs I have, you know, journals that go back many years. I'm going through there and I'm picking out old songs and some of them I'm turning into new songs because I like the melodies, you know, that I had planned out for them in my head. Just couldn't get bands to do them, you know. Bands playing in bars and things like that, you know, you don't really make a whole lot of money singing your own songs. You make money singing songs that have been on the radio, you know. Concerts, that's another story. You're building your following after singing songs that were done by other people for years. So, you know, it's my objective is get as many of these songs done where I can publish them, and then if an artist is interested in it, then make a deal. You know, you like that song? You want me to take it down and give you the copyright on it? Here you go. You know, kind of thing. Yeah, yeah, I just don't sing anymore. I don't sing any less either, but I just don't do it. You know, I do it when I'm out walking and things like that with the dogs. And we have a lot of fun. I went on Indies one night, and I was doing it was a karaoke thing that she did that day, and I went over and I did If Heaven by Andy Griggs, and didn't know that I didn't know that the music wasn't playing for everybody else. So they pretty much got an a cappella of me doing that song. And I was like, at the end of it, I looked at the screen and saw that somebody said there was no music. But that was awesome. And I was like, hey, you know, it's, you know, I guess when you feel a song, you know, you have a particular emotion that goes with it, you know. Yeah, it's I may do stuff in the future. It's I got to have better equipment than what I have. I need a soundboard, need a microphone, so on and so forth. And you know, it takes money to do that, and it takes power to run it too. So that's the other thing. You know, there's always that. So. But I look at it like this. So I've been using this app. It was introduced to me by Miss April. Some of you follow her channel too, and I appreciate that you listen to her stuff. She, you know, she's a little crazy sometimes, but she puts out some really good songs. MVP April, and she turned me on to this AI app that you put in your lyrics, you put in your tempos. Basically, you create a prompt is what you're doing to of how you want the song. So like when I did this one here, I actually did 3 different versions of it. I did one in an Americana patriotic style. I did one in a country soulful way, and then I did in a country rock style. And the country rock style is the one that delivered the message the best, you know. And you know, you just you know, you take and you by putting the lyrics on the screen, that means that a person can learn the song at the same time that the music is playing. Most of them can figure out what the keys are and can start playing them. And if somebody came on and did it live somewhere using their own voice and their own presentation of it, I would absolutely love that. It's the honoring of the song itself. It's got nothing to do with money at this point. I mean, it does cost a little bit in order to make these. Basically, the membership is like $60 a month, but I stopped using their video production thing, and I just used the music part because their AI video creation was it was really wonky. No matter how many prompts you gave it, it didn't follow a direction. So I started creating the images through ChatGPT. What I would do is I'd go in and I'd tell ChatGPT, okay, here are the lyrics from my song, and I would upload I upload a picture of me, I upload a picture of the dogs, and I'll have an image of the field, or I'll have an image of the camper, upload those and say, this is the mode I want, the genre that I want, the mood I want to set, And then basically the tempo. Tempo's got a lot to do with it as well. And there's been a couple of songs that I've done that a guy's voice just does not work for, but a female's voice does. And the female voice actually delivers that message, So I'll sometimes I'll go through 20 or 30 different variations before I'll hit exactly what I wanted to hear, and I'll know it. It's just the video creation of it. I've gone to creating the images on ChatGPT, and then I use CapCut to put the music and each of the images together. It's a pretty cool process. It's time consuming, but each song is worth it, because it gets a message out there, and sometimes you just got to have something fun too. You really do. You gotta have something fun or something funny. Okay. And it's just we get so wrapped up in one mode of thinking, right? Because of everything going on in our world today, right? And if we don't have something to distract us every once in a while, something to make us laugh, something to make it just maybe a little bit of inspiration to keep plugging along, or something funny because of the fact that we just need a laugh. We just need a laugh. We need to chill out, like this.
Well, I brought him home on a rainy day. Little white wolf, barely 8 weeks age. Blue eyes shining like the winter moon. Lord help, this cabin gonna be wrecked soon. He stole my sock and he chewed my chair. Hit the zoomies flying everywhere. Looks like heaven wrapped in snow so bright till he turns velociraptor every night. He sleeps like an angel beside my bed, then attacks my sleeve like the Walking Dead. I swear that pup's got 2 first names, Ghost and Tiny Hurricane. Ghost of land shark, he's so wide, running through the old farm every single night. You're a white shepherd, but don't be fooled. That little outlaw don't follow rules, chasing shadows, boots and dreams, terrorizing every pine tree scene. And every scar upon these hands comes from Ghost, the land shark man. Now the older shepherds just shake their heads like, boy, calm down before somebody's dead. But he pounces leaves like a grizzly bear, then crashes asleep without a care. Mud on his paws and dirt on his nose, always where the trouble goes. But somewhere in all that wild-eyed joy, God sent healing through that little boy. 'Cause lonely nights don't feel the same when I hear those puppy feet raising Cain. And somehow all the silence fades when Ghost comes flying down the hallway lane. Ghost of land shark, teeth so wide, running through the old farm every single night. Pure white shepherd, but don't be fooled. That little outlaw don't follow rules, chasing shadows, boots and dreams. King of chaos in the evergreen. And every scar upon these hands comes from Ghost, the land shark man. He looks like snow beneath the pines, but Lord, that little shark still bites. 1 minute cuddled by my side, next minute launching into overdrive. And I know one day he'll grow tall, stand beside me through it all. But for now, it's just a ball of fluff and felony level puppet stuff. Goes the land shark wild and free, best damn friend that ever found me. Pure white shepherd born to roam, turn this tight old farm back into home. Through the hard years and the pain, that little pup brought life again. And every mile these old boots ran led me straight to Ghost the land shark man. Yeah, he's part wolf, part snowstorm, part holy terror, and all heart. And all heart.
So Ghost is no, it's he's a pup that I got. We was delivered here not long ago at all. It's about he's coming up on 70 days old, but he's a lot of fun. He's a handful though. I have to run after him quite a bit. It's because he wants to get into everything, wants to explore everything, wants to know everything. But that's cool. And when he's in here, he's a terror. He's a terror. I got to keep all my wires up. Can't have anything near the floor that he can chew on. So yeah, but he's a loving. When I pick him up and hold him, he's happy, and often falls asleep that way. So, all right. So that's going to be it for me today. That's enough. You got it. You got all you're going to get. That's it. And I will see you guys hopefully again tomorrow. It's going to depend on what comes up. It's a farm, of course, and I gotta work that's got to get done. And as long as I get my stuff done, I'll be in and on time right around 11 o'clock, right around there. You guys have an awesome day. Remember, God loves you. Jesus loves you. I love you. And we'll see you then. All right. In the meantime.
Woke up this morning to a world on fire. Everybody shouting, climbing walls of wire. Fear on the TV, lies across the screen. Hard to know these days what anything means. But I hear my Father's voice down in my soul. Stand up straight, don't let the darkness take control. Love your neighbor, hold the line, stay alive. Open up your eyes and let your spirit drive. Don't let the noise pull you under. Don't lose your heart in the thunder. Keep your head on a swivel, keep your eyes on the light. There's still love in the middle of the fight tonight. When the road gets narrow and the world feels cold, keep your heart wide open and never let go. Keep your head on a swivel, but your soul on the rise. There's a whole lot of beauty still left in these eyes. Yeah, the world may shake, but we're not gonna break. We were born for more than survival. Little old lady waving from a porch swing. Kids on the sidewalk still learning to dream. Somebody praying in the middle of pain. Somebody dancing in the pouring rain. There's still good people helping strangers stand. Still working hard with calloused hands. Still holding family, still holding faith. Still finding hope when it all feels late. Don't let the fear define you. There's still a fire inside you. Keep your head on a swivel, keep your eyes on the light. There's still love in the middle of the fight tonight. When the road gets narrow and the world feels cold, keep your heart wide open and never let go. Keep your head on a swivel, but your soul on the rise. There's a whole lot of beauty still left in these eyes. Yeah, the world may shake, but we're not gonna
the dust and the stars. Oh, even when shadows fall, love is still the strongest thing of all. Keep your head on a swivel, don't lose your grace. Every scar tells a story, every soul has a place. And if somebody stumbles, you help them stand tall. That's the kind of strength that can heal us all. Keep your head on a swivel, keep your faith alive. There's still hope for tomorrow as long as we try. Yeah, the world may change, but love